Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
I am that dude, Bodkins.
Yeah, DP lost like, deep. Yeah.
Right, where he's wondering he's like, I
Patty to patty.
He won style, like no weight classes.
Yeah, basically, like I said, there's been a couple guys that are like,
It's ridiculous. No way. There's nobody else out there. He's your guy.
That's just not my mentality, bro. Like,
yeah. Leave the ladder down. That's my always like, hey, somebody helped you out. Why not help somebody else out? Return.
Give a big round of applause for the one and only Bodkins Show.
Or bringing Craig Counsell down the interstate in a move unexpected. I had people.
I'm going to repeat that again, folks. I didn't stutter. Welcome to the Bodkins Show.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of the Bodkins Show. I'm your host, Bodkins, baby. Man, it is our weekly dump where we kind of dump everything that has happened in the world from this past week. Man, we got a lot to get into today. First of all, we got to start out saying Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. And I implore you to, whether it's your wife, tell your mom, your wife, Happy Mother's Day, your mom, Happy Mother's Day, your grandma, you tell your, if you feel close with your aunts, that sometime they at point paid for a meal for you, did something for you, tell them Happy Mother's Day. If, I feel like in high school, everybody got that friend group and they got that one mom that takes care of everybody. Make sure you reach out to her. Whether it's been 5-6 years, reach out to her and tell her Happy Mother's Day, because I'm sure they will all greatly appreciate it, because it's tough business being a mom. I mean, it's something that me as a man, we don't understand. We'll never be moms. We're dads, and we're genetically think differently, men and women, and how we handle responsibilities. I've come across some great moms in my life, and people who have taken care of me, including my own mother, obviously. So Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. So hopefully it do something special for them, and enjoy the day, whatever mom wants. And men, like, it shouldn't be like, hey, like, make sure we're cooking dinners, make sure we're doing the things, you know what I mean? Mom shouldn't have to do much today. All the moms. So Happy Mother's Day, everybody, and to everybody out there. And if you're expecting mom, Happy Mother's Day to you too. So also that. So, I turned on, I shout out to my guy, Sam. I turned on his podcast last night, just to say what's up. And what do I see? My own guy, my own co-host cheating on me, two-time and hussy, Mr. Yankee fan, Johnny Cruz.
What's going on, bro? Yeah, it was fun. Shout out to Sam for putting me on last night to talk some NFL football and to kind of calm his nerves, because he was a non-Cam Ward believer, and as a Miami Hurricane fan, I had to let him know that he actually got himself a good one, man. So he should be grateful and happy with the choice that they made. But no, it was fun to talk to Sam. Haven't been on the LTS show for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Life and stuff's going on. So it was good to catch up with Sam last night. As far as the Mother's Day, I'm with you on that. You know what I'm saying? If you do have your mom, grandma, like you mentioned, that friend's mom that looked out for everybody, you know what I'm saying? Even if you haven't spoken to them for years, you know what I'm saying, shoot a little text, you know what I'm saying Happy Mother's Day. You'd be surprised, because there are some mothers out there that ain't exactly the best, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? So
we'll get into those.
I'm talking about in real life, you know what I'm saying? Besides that, you know what I'm saying? So there's some. So if you do have good ones, aunts, whatever, be grateful to them and show them some love today or whatever, because there's people that, you know what I'm saying, don't have the best situations with their moms or aunts or whatever and stuff. So if you do have good relationships with them, give them a quick text and tell them you love them and thank them and stuff, and you'll be surprised how good how good you'll make them feel.
Yeah, I think even like there's probably work moms out there too, right? Like I feel like when you go to an office and things like that, there's usually like an elderly woman or somebody that kind of takes care of everybody and takes care of you there. Like kind of comes your work mom. Make sure even if they don't even have kids, you know what I mean? Like that's
right.
So I feel like there's always somebody. I feel like everybody kind of has like a mom type figure in their life. Whether you recognize that or not, like, make sure you just reach out. It's not weird. I don't think it's weird. I tell people all the time, because, at some point in time, they helped me out. So, they fed me or did something for me. So, treated me like, I was one of their kids. So,
I mean, not for nothing, but one of my favorite people is my aunt, Ruthie. You know what I'm saying? She was the one that, ever since we were small, she was the one that got all the kids together, took us all to the pool, to the beach, to whatever. You know what I'm saying? She was the mom that everybody went to go, and she did everything with us. So yeah, she's one of my favorite people.
Yeah, definitely. I think every family has an aunt like that. You know what I mean? Like you have like the aunt that like takes care of all the kids. My friend was that way as a kid when I was growing up. She babysat me and my cousins and things like that. So, shout out. And I feel like every friend group has a mom. Like, you know what I mean? The house that we all stayed at, and like it was the mom that kind of.
Yeah, the mom that you're saying that you would probably tell shit to that you won't tell your own mom. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah. Shout out to that's my shout out to Mama T, my best friend's mama. She was that mom in our friend group. Everybody, we all crashed at her house, and I've spent countless mornings. Like I was always the first person to wake up in the morning. She'd already be up. Drinking coffee, and I just sit at the kitchen table and just bullshit with her. And it's like, man, I'm telling you stuff that I don't even tell my own mom. So shout out to all the moms. Hopefully it's that y'all have a blessed Sunday. Johnny, we got a lot to get into in the world of sports and everything else. And again, at the back end, folks, we'll give out our top 5 worst moms. So even if you think your mom is awful, we got the 5 worst TV moms. The reason I said worst moms is because I think we did best moms last year. So I was like, we got to do like worst moms. You know what I mean? Because some people be having, like we just talked about, having tumultuous relationships with their mom. Well, it could always be worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you ain't lying. No, that was a fun one. I'm glad you came up with this one. So it was fun doing the research and stuff like that, because there were some shows that I had forgotten about. Yeah. And I was like, oh shit, that's right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Damn, she was horrible.
Let's get into the NBA. Yesterday, your Knicks were up 2-0. I mean, coming back from 20 points down both games, but then yesterday back at the Garden, the Celtics finally find their shooting range to make it 2-1. And then you got Minnesota also yesterday taking a 2-1 series lead. No Steph Curry. For the Warriors, he's out maybe till game 6. They're talking if they make it that far.
Yeah, that series has completely switched because of that. As far as the Knicks Celtics series, the Knicks, props for them doing what they had to do those first 2 games, finding a way to win those games. But it was more of Boston just not making their shots. But then yesterday,
Boston losing, the Knicks win. I mean, you know what I mean? I feel like we said
it was just, the Knicks took advantage of their opportunities, because Boston with turnovers and the poor shooting. Yesterday they're on with their 3-pointers. They're 20. They shoot 50%. They make 20 out of their 40 3-pointers. So that's the difference. While the Knicks were 5 for 25. You know what I'm saying? That's what the modern game is now. You know what I'm saying? If you hit your 3-pointers, you're going to be good. If you don't, then, you know what I'm saying, then you give a team that may not be as talented an opportunity to find a way. I know a lot of people were saying that this was a must-win for the Knicks. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You're up 2-0. I thought it was important. I think, yes, I'm with you. Game 4 is important. You don't want to let Boston even the series, because then you stealing home court is gone. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And you've given the superior team, the defending champs, that confidence that, you know what I'm saying, that they can take this series. If the Knicks can find a way to win game 4 and then you go up 3-1, then it's just a matter of, you know what I'm saying, finding a way to win that one last game out of, you know what I'm saying, out of the last 3 that you have in that series. So this game 4 to me is much bigger than game 3 was. You never want to get your ass beat like that, though, especially at home. But again, Boston was just on. It is what it is. Regroup and get ready for the next one. The Timberwolves Warriors series, like you mentioned. I mean, the Warriors just aren't the same team without Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they're still a good defensive team, and Jimmy Butler is playoff Jimmy. He's doing what he can. But when you don't have that other 25 plus points, you know what I'm saying, from Steph, plus
shooter
right,
in the world, you know what I
right,
mean? Yeah.
plus the fact that Minnesota defensively has to play differently when Steph's out on the court. You know what I'm saying, like that. So, Minnesota obviously has the advantage here with Steph being out. I don't know if they already ruled him out for game 4.
Yeah, they said the game 5 or 6 is what I was hearing.
Yeah, see, so I mean, and Minnesota they need to make sure they handle their business. You got to take advantage of the fact that he ain't there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got an opportunity to go up 3-1. You need to take advantage of that and do what you've been doing. I'm happy for Julius Randle. He caught a lot of slack while he was a Knick, but he always played hard. He played every game. He wasn't one of those load management guys that didn't play. He was always there. He always showed up. So I'm happy for Julius Randle, and being able to be the number 2 to Anthony Edwards is exactly what he needed to be. He couldn't be the number 1 guy, just to be completely honest. But so I'm happy for him. I'm happy for Minnesota. It's gonna be interesting to see there. I'm interested to see what happens tonight or later this afternoon with Denver and OKC. Props to Denver showing the heart of champions, finding a way to win their 2 games, and then of course
I'll get to their game in just a minute.
Oh, okay, all right, go ahead. You good?
I want
to
back up on something here real quick. First of all, you talked about the threes, right? And that's the way the game's played. Listen to this stat. My buddy sent me this stat. In 1995, NBA games averaged 15.3 attempts per game.
Mm-hmm.
This season, it's 37 and a half attempts.
Yeah. It's crazy, dude. Like the first game that Boston lost, they took 60 fucking 3-pointers, bro, and missed 40 or 45 or whatever. They broke the record for the most misses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
that's why. All right, a little rant here. That's why this game is so different now than it was in the 90s, 80s, whatever, even the early 2000s. So for all the people that want to say, oh, you're just a boomer, a hater, whatever, it's a completely different game right now. Everything is either a 3-pointer or a free throw. You know what I'm saying? That's all it basically is. You have this certain slashers that go to the rim, and of course there's no resistance in the paint, so they can easily get there. But that's why guys that probably would be averaging like 18, 19 points are averaging 25, 26 is because of the 3-pointer. So all of these mid, you know what I'm saying, the eye players, they look better because they are specialists. They shoot 3-pointers, so their averages are up, and that's what makes them, seem like they're better. You know what I'm saying? This whole thing about this era of player is better than that era, that's a crock of shit. Yes, people evolve, and medicine, and people get bigger, stronger, whatever, but there were big, strong, physical guys in the NBA in the 90s as well. They just didn't shoot 3-pointers. They actually had specialists that shot 3-pointers, guys that just stood at the 3-point line and shot 3-pointers. Now half the league does that. You know what I'm saying? So just because you're making $8 million and back then they were only making $800,000 doesn't mean that you're better, bro. That means that you're just as average as that person was. You're just playing at a time where you guys make more money. You know what I'm saying? So that's why scoring is the way it is. That's why LeBron James, who ain't got no bag in his game at all, can break Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time scoring record, because it's so much easier to score since 2004. And I actually heard something the other day that was crazy too, because the hand checking rule, which is a big rule, you know what I'm saying, that completely changed how you can play the game. That was implemented in 2004. Well, who was his first year in the league in 2004? LeBron James. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had to deal with getting his ass beat for 20 years and put up that scoring title. And that's why that scoring record stood for so long. And then, you know what I'm saying, LeBron, because come on, man, do people really look at LeBron as like a great scorer? No. You know what I'm saying? But he's able to accumulate it because of the three-point line and because it's so much easier to score in today's game than it was before. But I digress. I just had to put that out there because it makes it not fun sometimes, bro, when you just see a bunch of people just shooting threes all the time. That's probably why I really like Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shoots threes, but I love him going like that dunk last night was lit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, he attacks the basket. I'm a big proponent of attacking the basket. Because number one, it does multiple things. It draws the defense into the hoop, and then you kick it out for those threes. But back to the Celtics, like those first two games, like at what fucking point in time do you realize the balls? They are the definition of live and die by the fucking three.
Right.
But at what fucking point do you go to plan B? Saying, you know what? It ain't fucking falling. We need a bucket here. And the best way to fucking go to the bucket is fucking drive, Jaylen Brown or Tatum, like driving to the basket and getting one. Like that's
or how about posting up in the block?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Like whatever happened. Like that was a great thing about like guys like Shaq, Tim Duncan. When you needed a fucking bucket, like you could in KG and even Dirk when we need a fucking bucket, we can dump it down. When we need a bucket, we can dump it down to somebody back in the basket, post up, and we can fucking get a basket. You know what I mean? Like,
and you have those few players that are not bigs, like you mentioned a bunch of power forwards. Like Jimmy Butler is a classic case of that. Like last night when Minnesota went on a little run. You know what I'm saying? Warriors needed to do something. What they do, they post up Jimmy Butler down low and let him go one-on-one and take advantage of his, of his matchup. You know what I'm saying? That's not like, yes, I'm with you. Like watching that game, that game one with Boston and the Knicks, it's like, and that's why, and I like Jason Tatum. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a really good player, but like, bro, like you ain't hitting your shot. Like, why don't I don't ever really see him post up, and it's like, work on that part of your game. And that's why you're saying for all the players out there that talk
one on line one, please.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, I'm saying that there's that famous clip of Michael Jordan after he hit the 6 3-pointers against Portland in that one finals game. Yeah. He mentioned that he didn't worry about working on his 3-point shot as much because he thought it would take away from the rest of his game, which is true. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He was more focused on his footwork and making sure his post play and his pull-up jumpers and stuff like that. Yeah, he could shoot the three, but he wanted to make sure he was an all-around player. There aren't as many all-around players now.
Yeah.
You're either a good shooter or you're not.
Yeah. And that's what makes Joker so good. Is like he can still dump it down to him when you need a fucking basket and score. You know what I mean? And score. Yep. Like I just wanted to get into before we get into the other two series, I wanted to just kind of back up and Joe Mazzulla has got to be like, is the coach like, hey guys, like eventually got to call fucking timeout and be like, hey, like the shots ain't falling. Like I don't want to say no threes, but fuck, like let's limit. Let's
try something else.
Yes, like,
you know what I'm saying?
We gotta go to fucking plan B. And
but he's 20. He's like 25 years old, and he's like totally into the analytics. You know what I'm saying? So they're all about
they're gonna live and die by
Just keep on shooting the threes. Eventually they'll go in.
They died the first two games. Mm-hmm. They lived yesterday. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when they're hot, they can beat anybody. But as we saw in game 1 and 2, but if you have 2 more games like that, you're going to be out. Like that's the thing. You can live the regular season, 82 games, doing that. I feel like and be really good, especially as good of a shooters as they are. But in a short series, you have 3-4 bad shooting nights. You're out the playoffs. You know,
Right.
and they're down two games because of it, and they didn't make the adjustments. And the Knicks are good enough to kind of just keep it close. You know what I mean?
Right.
Stay within
Right.
15. Stay.
See, and that's
they got
that's
the
the
players.
thing. Sorry, not to cut you off. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
I was just saying they got the players, and then you have a guy like you look at Jalen Brunson, another guy.
Right.
We just thought like he's not out just shooting threes. This man is
It's
going
taking it to the hole. Yeah.
and creating things for his teammates. Like he can go get you a bucket when you need a bucket, and that's the difference.
Right. I'm completely with you on that. And that's why, you know what I'm saying, and props to Boston for winning the title last year. But I think that matchup with Dallas was the perfect matchup for them. You know what I'm saying? Because Dallas wasn't a really good defensive team. You know what I'm saying? So they couldn't defend the perimeter as well as like Minnesota or Denver could have. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting if Boston winds up making it out of the East, because let's see what happens with Cleveland and Indiana, because that was more interesting than I expected it to be. But if they play a team like that's going to defend the three better, will they have a plan B? Will Jason Tatum be able to post up down low or something like that, or is he just not capable of that? You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I think the fact that they played the Mavs in the finals last year was the perfect matchup for them, because they didn't have to worry about a really solid defensive team playing against them.
Yeah. Real quick, Pensman wants to know, is Randall a better now or better than he was as a Knick? I'll give my answer to you. I think he's the same. He's not better. He's just he's asked to do less and to be the two guy, to be the Robin and not the Batman, where in New York, especially early on, before Brunson kind of came along, he was asked to be the Batman.
Yeah, I think you hit it right on the head. I think he's the same exact player. I think he's more comfortable in the role that he's in now, so he can play more freely being the Robin, as opposed to having to try to be the man like he was early on in New York. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't say that he's necessarily better now, but he's in a better role now, so he can excel better in this role than what he was with the Knicks. And if they could get past the Golden State Warriors, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because OKC's a special team, but I wouldn't be surprised if Denver finds a way, because Joker is just phenomenal. But like I would love to see Minnesota against Boston or something, like, you know what I'm saying, because of the length that Minnesota has and their ability to defend the three. You know what I'm saying? Like, that will be an interesting series, because that Anthony Edwards will take Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown down low and post them up. He ain't going to be afraid to do that. Will they be willing to try to post him up? You know what I'm saying? That's going to be the matchup that I would want to see. But no, I wouldn't say that Julius Randle's better. I just think he's excelling because he's in his proper role of being the number two.
Yeah, let's get into the other series. We've kind of hinted on it a little bit. I mean, this Thunder Nuggets, it's got 7 written all over it, Johnny. Like, yeah. I mean, you got the two best players in the NBA, in Shea and Jokic. And Jokic, like, it was like they blew him out. I think the Thunder blew him out, or the Nuggets won game 1 with a blowout. Nuggets won game 2. Our Thunder won game 2 in a blowout. Nuggets respond, and now we got game 4. This is kind of the must-win type of game for the Thunder, and I expect them to win. But man, it's just got 7 to me written all over it.
Yeah, and it's so much fun, man, because you got the experience of the Nuggets, because they pretty much got the same team, minus a couple of role players that aren't on their bench. But it's Joker, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter,
Jamal Murray.
You know what I'm saying? And then you got
Jamal Murray. To me, when he balls out, I think he had 40 something. And it's just like, when he can play and he balls out, like, and really be that other piece, that's when they're at their best. But when he's not that other piece,
and that's his biggest issue, is his inconsistency.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? If he was a little bit more consistent, like, I think they would be a much more dominant team, because they have all the other pieces, around them, that if he played consistently, and you don't need to average 35, 40, But if he was consistently averaging 24, 25 points between him and Joker, and then with all the other parts that you got on that team, like it would be so much pressure and so much easier for Joker to do what he does. But you got this young up and coming team with OKC with all these young studs. Is it Jalen or I think it's Jalen Williams.
Yeah.
On okay, bro. Like he is an absolute stud. I hope they don't fall into the same situation where they had to trade James Harden years ago when they had KD and Russ and stuff like that. Because he is a phenomenal player. He's a great pairing with Shea. So it's gonna be interesting to see. You got Chet down low. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be interesting to see. I love the contrast of styles. And this Shea is special to watch, bro. He plays at his own pace and just like he's fun, man. Yeah, I hope it goes 7 just as a greedy, fan because I want to see as many games as possible. But if Denver takes the 3-1 lead, like OKC might be in trouble.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So because then the inexperience and the pressure that's going to be on them. They were the best team all year. You know what I'm saying. So I think they need to win this game and even up the series.
They do, and it just like it's like unfathomable, right? Like Denver's out here, fired coach, fired general manager, like 10 days before the playoffs, and it's just like,
right.
Here they are, like, and it's just like, would anybody be surprised if they won the NBA Finals? You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be. They have the best player on the planet right now in Jokic, and a bunch of really good players. I think, Michael Porter Jr. had his best game of the playoffs in Game 3, and he's been hurt. Like, he just pisses me off because I'm like, God, this kid is he's another kid that just shoots too much, like threes.
Yes.
Like, if he would just post up, he has.
He's 6'10", bro.
Yeah, like the mismatches that kid could have.
Right.
So he's frustrated.
If he just worked on his post game a little bit.
Yeah,
he would be such a dominant player.
On a good high-low with Jokic and Porter, and then it would just be
Oh my God!
Yeah,
bro.
He's so frustrating to watch at times.
Yes,
and it's just like, man, like he could be 6th man of the year. Sometimes he comes off the bench, sometimes he starts, but man, he could really be the linchpin that kind of like Joker.
He could legit be number 2 to Joker.
Yeah, well, he could be the spoon that stirs it. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like, he could legit be the number 2 to Joker. Yeah. If he developed a post game with his ability to shoot the way he is, because he's a phenomenal shooter. You're saying, of course, shooters get cold or whatever, but if he developed a post game and, like, again, with his mismatch because of his size and athleticism, if he actually developed a really good post game, he would be an all-star type player, you know what I'm saying, right there with Joker. You know what I'm saying? So but that's the game, bro. Like I said, like that's one of the most frustrating things is on a fast break and motherfuckers just run into the 3-point line instead of going to the basket. And it's just like, bro, like you got an easy 2 points right there. But that's just the way they're coached now to go to the 3-point line. But I'm having fun. You know what I'm saying? This is my favorite time of the NBA season is the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And there's been some interesting games. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you get a blowout here and there, but for the most part, there've been some really, really good, down to the wire games.
Yeah, definitely. The last I want to touch on this Cavs Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
Pacers win both games. Against in Cleveland. The disrespect that Tyrese Halliburton. He was voted most overrated.
Overrated. Yeah, that was messed up.
And then this man said he has balled out in these playoffs. And hits the game-winning shot in game 2. Like misses the layup, gets his own rebound. Again, it goes back to fundamentals, folks. Box out. Like that's I text my son after that game. I said, you know why Cavs lost? I said it's just the same shit I tell you. You don't box out on the free throw. You didn't get, you didn't the short hustle plays. Like they got outworked and out hustled in game 2, and that's how they lost. Because it's simple. Like there was 2 or 3 times where they didn't get the rebound, the defensive rebound. And they let the Pacers get it because you decide not to box out. Nobody boxed out. Tyrese Halliburton gets the rebound, shoots the game winner. Overrated what? I like the disrespect and the fact that they publish that shit and they
Right.
know the fucking fact that everybody in this league thinks you're the most overrated player. Well, good for him for putting that chip on his shoulder and balling out the way he is. They lose game 3 in Indiana. Today's game 4. Cleveland again. They got to try to tie this series up. And if I'm Indiana, like same situation with your Knicks, is like this is a game you got to win because then you just won 2 games for nothing in Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm completely with you on that on all aspects. Yeah, I like Tyrese Halliburton. Yeah, he's got a funky shooting style, whatever, but I like his mentality as a point guard. He's a assist first type of point guard. He's trying to get everybody else involved. He can go to the hole anytime he wants. He actually posts up a little bit too, so I like that part of his game. But yeah, that's gotta be quite a gut punch to be voted most overrated player by your peers, right? By your fellow players. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm happy for him that he had the opportunity to say, here, you know what I'm saying, up yours, you know what I'm saying, for all that
he's hit 2 game-winning shots. I mean, wanted to send him to the second round again over Giannis and then against, and the Cavs in this fashion. Good for this kid, man.
Yeah, I'm hella happy for him, but I'm completely with you as far as them being in the same boat as the Knicks. You wind up winning the first 2 games on the road. Cleveland was down a few players. They got their players back, and they won that game, in convincing fashion in Indiana, similar to what Boston just did to the Knicks. So I'm completely with you. Indiana and the Knicks, like this game 4. You want to go up 3-1 because if you let the other team even the series, like they're gonna have all the momentum and all the confidence on their side. And if it winds up going even in both series, then I'm gonna say Cleveland and Boston wind up winning it.
I mean, nobody can win a home game right now. Nobody.
Right.
Is that maybe we're like, well, I guess if they can win on the road, continue to win on the road, then
because they are both the lower seeds. So I mean,
yeah.
But that's a tall ask to try to win 4 games on the road, man. Especially a game 7.
Yeah. It's interesting. Right now, Cleveland's favored today at 5.5, and so is OKC at -6.5 too. So they're favored as well. So
nice.
We'll see. That kind of sums up the NBA. It has been the second round's been. I think the first round's kind of interesting, but like it's usually. There was like one matchup. I think it was the Clippers Nuggets matchup was like very intriguing. Right?
The Knicks Detroit was a little bit of fun. You know what I'm saying? Detroit put up a good fight against the Knicks.
But the second round is like the legit. Here we go. You know what I mean? Like these games.
Yes. And again, this is one of my little pet peeves about the freaking NBA with this stupid play-in game bullshit. Yeah. It's similar to the NCAA with the 64 teams. That 1-16 matchup ain't gonna be a good matchup. You know what I'm saying? That's similar to what happened. All the play-in teams that just barely made the playoffs, they got their asses kicked and they're gone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I understand the league doing it to kind of keep interest in it, but those teams don't deserve to be there, man. If you can't be top 8 in your conference, you don't deserve to be in the playoffs, bro. But I digress. So yes, the second round has definitely been a lot more competitive and more fun than the first round.
Let's move to some NFL news over this past week. The start of the week, George Pickens traded to the Cowboys. First of all, my biggest gripe here is when I you turn ESPN on, and it's just like they're like, does Aaron Rodgers, does he really want to go to Pittsburgh now that Pickens gone? Did he have something to do with George Pickens being traded? Like the fuck, why? Like I don't think that's what's happening, but it's just funny like that's what they want to fucking talk about instead of the actual trade. And how about the fact that I kind of joked, I said Mike Tomlin saw DK Metcalf and George Pickens, and he's like, this shit reminds me of Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell. I'm too old to handle that shit again for that circuit. So one of them's we already paid DK. And Mark Caboli, he tweeted out like the Steelers don't really re-sign their receivers.
Their receivers, no.
Yeah, it was like Hines Ward, Antonio Brown, and like another like legit like all-time type Steeler, and they're like that's the list of guys like they've kind of extended. They weren't going to pay George Pickens. He's kind of become a headache on Sunday. Why not trade him? Why not trade him for get him for something? They got him for a third round pick. And I thought it was a win-win for both teams. The Cowboys needed, they needed somebody to play on the opposite side of CD Lamb, and George is good. While he's kind of a knucklehead, he's still a talented receiver.
Yeah, I'm completely with you on that. Shout out to Alan Perales, the Cowboys fan. He shouted out. He was on, in the comment section on last night's show with me and Sam. We touched a little bit on this. I mean, that's why he got drafted where he got drafted, was because of the off the field shit with George Pickens. Because the talent is there. The kid is a phenomenal, player. But I'm with you. If Mike Tomlin is like, I don't want to deal with this, then that says a lot. But as far as Dallas is concerned, and to get a third round pick for him, good for you, Pittsburgh. But Dallas did need somebody across from CD. And I think for at least for the first year, George Pickens is going to ball out and like keep his head on straight because he's trying to get that bag.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you're right. This is the best time to have him, because this is when guys, act right and stuff like that, because they want to make sure that they secure that money. So it's definitely something that the Cowboys needed. I ain't gonna front. That Dallas was somebody that I was hoping Miami would try to unload Tyreek Hill to, but I guess that ain't happen. I so want him off the team, bro. I've wanted him off the team for over a year now, but it is what it is. But no, I like George Pickens, the player. If he can keep his head on straight, man, and just mature a little bit, bro, he could have him and CD is a hell of a 1-2 punch, bro. If he can keep his head on straight and just focus on playing ball. Like that's pretty interesting for the Cowboys there, and they need all the possible scoring they can get in that division, bro.
Yeah. I like the move for both teams. Like it's you're giving up a third round pick for the Cowboys for George Pickens on a 1-year rental, maybe.
Right.
But you also have a chance to, maybe
they ain't no third down receiver in the draft coming out next year that's better than George Pickens.
Yeah,
not one. So that's the way you got to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Cowboys fans that might have been upset.
I'm surprised the deal wasn't made on draft day, but nonetheless, it is like it is what it is. But
real quick, to touch on your point about the whole Aaron Rodgers thing, that's the way the media is now, bro.
Yeah,
it's like let's bring up the most negative, stupid, outrageous shit to talk about. Because just breaking down the simple trade itself just isn't interesting enough. So let's put a little spin on. You say there's always those keywords: Dallas Cowboys, LA Lakers, Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? LeBron James. Like there's those certain people that they talk about all the time because they get ratings for it. So it is what it is. But I mean, let's just real quick. We might as well touch on it. Right? Like, do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to want to be in the quarterback for Pittsburgh? Like, I think he's done.
No, I think it's.
You think it's already settled? They're just not going to talk about it until at the last minute. They'll just do a quick press conference. But he's trying to keep it on the L.
You can't. You can't. You can't go in the season with Mason Rudolph as your starter, and they don't have no other quarterback.
I think we touched on it a little bit last week. So I got
They drafted. Was it Will Howard out of Ohio State?
Yeah, I like him as a developmental player. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But now I'm with you. You're right. But no, as far as him having anything to do with George Pickens being traded, no, man, he's gonna want as much talent on the team as possible.
Yes.
You think Aaron Rodgers gives a fuck that he's a knucklehead? No, as long as he catches the ball and scores touchdowns, he's good.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron would probably get onto him when he started acting like a head, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm with you on that. And I don't know. And then they were like, does he even want to go there? Because the talent pool, it's not a lot of talent there in Pittsburgh. Najee Harris is gone. They did draft another running back, but they got some good talent. Their offensive line is young and developing. The defense is always good, and you got a great coach. Yeah. Like, come on, people, don't Yeah.
Can we please stop underestimating Pittsburgh already and stop shitting on Pittsburgh? Like, they always have a winning record. You put a Hall of Fame quarterback there with an offensive line that can actually protect him, and I think he'll. You know what I'm saying? I think Aaron Rodgers will play well.
Yeah, appreciate it, Sam. Guys, we've been talking about a little bit. Sam, if you're a Titans fan and NFL fan, check out Mr. First Down. Johnny was on his show last night. So.
Absolutely. What's up, Sam? If you like wrestling too, he's got the On the Mat with Allen too that he does too. So if you're a wrestling fan, check out Sam.
Yep, on the LTS network. Real quick in yesterday's news, Derrick Carr hanging it up. Saints rejoice because that saves them a shit ton of money. And, he was going to have surgery on his shoulder. And it's pretty much, I think he didn't want to maybe hold them captive. I don't really know. But Saints could have rejoiced because they don't have to pay him all this money. And now they have some cap room space. Your thoughts on the retirement of Derrick Carr? And, man, the Saints are going to be real shitty next year. I mean, they're going to go in the season with the quarterback the 50-year-old quarterback they drafted out of Louisville.
Yeah, I actually like Tyler Shuck or whatever the hell you pronounce his name, out of Louisville. Yeah, he is a little older, but I'm happy for Derek Carr. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's made plenty of money. He's probably going to wind up being on TV as an analyst or some shit like that or whatever. He's lived a good life. He's got generational wealth. He's good. Props for him for, you know what I'm saying, trying to do the right thing by the organization and just calling it quits instead of, having surgery and trying to rehab a little bit just to get that last check. You know what I'm saying? I made the comment last night on Sam's show that there was a Miami beat writer who put out a tweet that, it was an honorable thing for him to do, but it was stupid. No, it's not, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you going to call doing an honorable thing stupid? You know what I'm saying? It's not like he ain't ever made no money. Then that would be a little stupid. You know what I'm saying? But this ain't his first bag.
I mean, here's the thing. 30 million. So it says both sides gain financially by retiring. Carr forgoes $30 million guaranteed.
Right. But how much has he made in his career? Probably 100 and something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, so stick with the honorable thing. He did the honorable thing by the franchise. Don't also call it stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, he lost out on $30 million, but I think he'll be all right with
$20 million because the Saints have agreed. Just kind of the Saints won't seek reimbursement for the $10 million roster bonus and signing.
Okay,
bonus.
so look at that. You know what I'm saying? So he got a $10 million roster bonus for not doing shit. You know what I'm saying? So he got a parting gift. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here's $10 million while you as you're walking out the door. So props to him. You know what I'm saying? New Orleans, you know what I'm saying, probably needed to do a whole reboot 5 years ago.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they
buddy
just
Christian will agree with you. Like,
I've been banging on that for a minute that they should have just blew it up and started. You know what I'm saying? They've always done everything possible to just kind of get under the cap and just try. We talked about that, Chad Pennington. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a rough injury, man. That he's dealing with. But somebody's gonna pick him up. He's gonna be on TV making money. He'll be straight. As far as the Saints,
start the car podcast, cruising with the cars.
He could do something with his brother. But as far as the Saints are concerned, that's a tough division. The Bucks with Baker have developed something good there. Atlanta, they got their quarterback Penix in last year's draft. So he's let's see what happens with him. And even Carolina, you know what I'm saying? Like Bryce Young's second year showed some signs of growth. So you know what I'm saying? The Saints needed to get their young, even though he's like 25 or 26, but they drafted themselves a third round quarterback. They took their franchise left tackle with their first round pick. So they're starting to put the pieces together to kind of rebuild. I think he did them a solid by retiring, you know what I'm saying? Because now they can use that extra 20 grand or 20 million, or whatever they have to, you know what I'm saying, maybe sign a couple of other pieces, you know what I'm saying, to help them at least try to be competitive this year. And if not, then you completely suck, and then you're in the running for either Archie Manning or whoever the hell else comes out next year.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense to me, right? Like I've been
Like,
saying,
wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something for the Saints to wind up drafting, Arch Manning after they're the ones that had, Grandpa Archie Manning for,
yeah,
from back in the
yeah.
day? Like that
That's what
would be some poetry right there, boy.
that's what I was thinking as well. So I mean, Derrick Carr was never, it's crazy. Like he probably was never really the same. Remember, there was a time
Yeah,
like he
when
was about
I mentioned when he broke his leg, bro.
Yeah,
When he
yeah,
broke his leg as a
yeah,
Raider, like he was having an MVP type season that
yeah,
year. And
yeah,
after he broke his leg, he was never the same. And I felt so bad for him because I actually liked him. I thought he was a good player, especially they got him in the second round out of Fresno State and stuff. So it was like, wow, this kid is nice. You know what I'm saying? He's a good player. Yeah, he broke his leg and just wasn't the same after that, man. And then, I mean, you could tell he kind of had happy feet and was, kind of a little nervous in the pocket, which I get it, bro. You got your leg broke, you know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of understand it, but he still wound up having a nice little career. And again, he's made enough money that his family, his kids are going to be straight. So I think he's good. He's having a good Mother's Day, even though he ain't a mom.
Yeah. He's able to give his mom the best Mother's Day.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Real quick, before we move on to the some baseball news, real quick, I meant to mention this last week, or maybe it happened this week. Greg Popovich is officially retired from coaching. He hadn't coached like the last few months because he had some health stuff. But man, I was kind of like like to me, Tim Duncan's like my second favorite player outside of Michael Jordan. Not saying he's the second best player of all time, but just my favorite. So I love that Spurs team. Pop was obviously the leader of those teams. And the game ain't going to be the same. Like this is kind of like that last like childhood, early 20s coach that still kind of was coaching. That's been around. Man, Rick Carlisle's been around a long time too. Speaking of, but Pop is one of the best, and Hall of Famer in his own right. Really the end of an era, as Sam was saying here. I mean, 20 plus years that Pop's been kind of running that team, and I think he's going to be like still kind of in charge of the general manager, or he's still going to have some
it's like president or something. He's going to have some kind of influence in the organization. I'm with you. I wish him the best. I hope I hope his health gets better so that he can continue on in whatever capacity he decides. But I'm with you on Tim Duncan. Like, not for nothing, but people sleep on how good Tim Duncan was. To be quite honest, as far as, again, because I always try to rank like what I actually saw. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't tell you how good Wilt Chamberlain was because I didn't see him play. But Tim Duncan was one of the best players that I ever got to see play. Fundamentally was just phenomenal. He had a fire about him, even though he was quiet. But from what you hear from other players and shit, like he talked shit, but he was like smooth with it. Like he would like he would like compliment you at the same time that he's like, yo,
nice
he's like, he's like, nice try on that one there. You know what I'm saying? Like almost like subtle shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like almost complimenting you, but at the same time telling you, I'm beating your ass, but I'm gonna be nice to you about it. You know what I'm saying? So. Timmy was a phenomenal basketball player, man. He was a great player, bro.
Yeah.
So shout out to Popovich. Nah, man. I hear you on that one.
Hopefully his health is he had another recent health scare here recently. Hopefully he gets his health all together. Because he's one of and you hear about the other stuff and social, he's very pretty, like, just kind of being out in the front. So, of social progress and things like that as well. So, shout out to Coach Pop and hopefully he's doing well. Speaking of other coaches, another coach that the Pirates, Johnny, fired their manager this week. Does it matter? Absolutely fucking not, because as long as their owner, and I tried to tell Jonathan this when he picked the Pirates to win that damn division, I said the Pirates owner won't allow them to. They could change. They could have the best. They could go get, I don't know, you name it, Joe Torre. They could get anybody. But if you don't gonna spend fucking money, guess what? You know what I mean? You ain't gonna win.
Yeah, it's not really all that surprising, except for the fact that does it really matter? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. To be completely honest.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? 13-27. Yeah, that's gonna do it. It's just a matter of when is Paul Skeens going to get tired and want to get the hell up out of there. Along with some,
when Paul Skeens will be a Yankee is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna say no, but you know, saying I would rather see him on a team that on a better team, so that you can actually get to watch him play. Because unless you got the MLB package or the Fire Stick or whatever, saying like you can't even watch the kid pitch because nobody's gonna broadcast the Pittsburgh games. They're garbage. You know what I'm saying? So it's sad and it sucks for the Pittsburgh fans. That's one of the most aesthetically pleasing stadiums that's ever been built. It's so beautiful to watch a baseball game there. It just sucks that they always have a terrible team. And I'm with you. I don't know what Jonathan was thinking that day, but I don't know. Maybe he knew something was gonna happen, and maybe we're gonna find out he's gonna be the new hitting coach or something for the Pittsburgh Pirates soon or something.
the LSU blinders on. That's what I said.
Yeah, true.
LSU blinders on. I don't know. Did you see this video too? It's kind of around the web, but the Pirates usher and a fan got into it. The fan, I think from what the video I saw, they were like arguing, and the fan spit on him, and then the usher started whooping his ass. And then busted the dude's lip, started spitting on him. Then the guy was like spitting blood at him. They fucking the usher took off his belt and started whipping the guy with it. So even the fans and ushers are fed up with everything that's going on in Pittsburgh at the baseball stadium. But I just wanted to kind of get out to that news. And it doesn't matter if you have a shitty owner, and there's shitty owners. Out there, like he's just not going to spend, and you can't compete, especially in this day and age, if you're not going to go out and get some of the best players. I mean, look at the Rockies. God, they gave up 20 touchdowns yesterday. So you know what I mean.
And that's why saying, and people be like, oh, saying Yankee fans don't want a salary cap. Yes, I do. I actually do want a salary cap. You know what I'm saying? But you also got to make sure that there's a floor. You know what I'm saying? You got to make these other teams have to spend money. I mean, they're getting revenue shares, you know what I'm saying? But they're just putting it in their pocket instead of putting it in their organization. You know what I'm saying? So if you put a floor where they have to spend, $80-90 million or something like that, then they got to put a relatively competitive team out there. So they'll never do it, but I wouldn't mind baseball doing some type of a salary cap or some type of salary structure, something to where they, these teams have to put money into their teams. Or or sell the damn team. If you don't care about putting money into the damn team, sell the damn team. Why should you be allowed to just profit from it and your fans are the ones suffering? You know what I'm saying? They're the one paying for the tickets to go see these games. And they know, a month into the season that they ain't got no chance at a playoff spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's sad.
Johnny, the Rockies lost 21-0 to the Padres yesterday. 3 touchdowns. I mean, what? Like, how do you lose? How does a professional?
Oh my God! I just looked at 6-33.
Yeah, that's how bad they are. How do you lose 21-0? In baseball, like that's like that's a minor league team. Like they're
minor league team in a park with the altitude, which I never understood why. I never understood why there wasn't a dome there. You know what I'm saying?
In fact, how do you not score then? How do you not score?
Right.
And then you give up 21.
Well, I mean, like you couldn't even get one run. You couldn't even get that goose egg off of there, man. Not even a field goal. You couldn't even kick a field goal.
That's a beatdown. That's a beatdown. I mean,
that's crazy.
Yeah, their fan base. I mean, there's some fan bases that you just know right now. Like, I mean,
like you know what I'm saying. Like, you might as well just start making plans for the summer and what you know what I'm saying. Like, don't even waste your time. You know what I'm saying. Like, I mean. Unless you're the hardcore where, because I ain't gonna front, I'm one of those to where I'll go to the park just to go to the park. You know what I'm saying? Just to go to the field, to just, be out there at the stands, have a hot dog and a beer.
20 games out of first.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll go and I don't even really care who's playing. I just want to be in the stands and experience the whole. I just love baseball that much to where I like being out at the park or whatever. But besides that, like again, to know that after a month your team ain't got no kind of chance and they're this pathetic. Like, why even waste your time? Like, I couldn't possibly watch them on TV. Like, why waste those 2.5 hours? You know what I'm saying? There's some good shit on TV that you could be watching, bro.
Yeah.
Instead of getting depressed all the time with your baseball team.
I feel 21-0.
I did not realize their record was that bad. I knew Colorado was bad, but holy shit,
we're almost a month and a half
6-33
into the season. You know what I mean?
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, I figured they'd have at least double-digit wins. Like they're not
Even
even
the
close. They barely got a handful. They got 6 wins. Like damn. Like it might be a minute before they reach 10.
Yeah, they're on pace for an all-time record. You know.
Wow.
What I mean? Yeah.
Sorry, Rockies fans. I feel for you.
Hey, that's why they legalized weed. You got to be high to watch that shit.
I forgot about that. That would make it a lot easier. That would make it a lot easier. I'm good. I'm good. You really enjoying that hot dog and that hot pretzel, boy.
Hey, they should allow smoking into the stadium. You know what I mean?
Right. You just sit right there because there's only like 5 people in the stadium anyway. Yes.
Let them fucking light it up. Light them sons of bitches up. The only way you can be happy watching that shit.
Right? Oh shit.
Let's get into it's kind of around the web mixed in with the song itself. Have you heard this? I don't really like to call him Kanye because in my mind Kanye West has passed. This new developed character. I love Kanye West. I mean, don't get me wrong. Them first five albums, right?
Talented as hell.
This new Yee person, Ye, whatever the fuck you want to call him. Yee, is it Yee or is it Ye?
It's Yee.
Yee.
Yeah.
Have you heard his new song?
Nah.
Oh, well, you know he has gone full Nazi, right? Do you know this?
Nah, man, I haven't been paying attention to that shit. Bro.
Swastika signs. He got a new song. It's called Hail Hitler.
Ay, Dios mío. Jesus.
You know it's bad when the Spanish is coming.
Wow. No, I did not know that he had a song called that. Wow, bro. Like
let me
wow. That kid after he lost his mama, bro, like he just went off the deep end, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is. Let me. I want to make sure. Hold on a second.
Like that has to be some type of independent shit. Because what label is gonna allow that, bro?
He is.
He's completely independent now. Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say because there ain't no record label gonna allow no shit like that, bro. Like, come on, man. Oh wow.
So it says Yee song glorifying Hitler gets millions of views on X while other platforms struggle to remove it. Yeah, it's Hail Hitler, HeilHitler, Hail Hitler. So my buddy actually sent me a clip. I haven't really listened to the whole song, but let me see. My buddy sent me it's just like a clip of it. And they were saying like people thought like it was like in a warehouse and people thought it was really, I guess he made a whole ass music video. And people thought he was literally had like a Nazi shit going on. So
please tell me he didn't like try to make it look like one of the camps and stuff. Yeah. Like, come on, bro.
I don't know if you can hear it. Inward Hail Hitler.
Yeah, that's
what are we doing here?
Right? Like, bro, like I don't know, man. I worry about this world, bro, with shit like that, bro. Like, come on, man. That's just
I said it. I've said it. Then when people are like, "Oh man," like so, I'm like, I don't know. I don't listen to this Yee person. I don't know who this is. I don't.
right.
I know who Kanye West is, and he rest in peace. You know what I mean? In my mind,
Right. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
you know what I mean. So
Yep.
let me go back and drop a college dropout and graduation and those albums. Late registration, like, hey, those albums are goated in my mind. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But no, I had
It's
not
not like
heard
he's
that.
doing it for. I don't know what he's like. I don't know what he's doing it for. You know what I mean? Like, you already. I could understand maybe.
Dude, there's something chemically wrong in that man's brain now, bro.
Yeah.
There's got to be, bro. Like, come on, that makes
Something
like,
happened to him. Yeah.
yeah.
You're right.
Uh-huh.
And I've kind of always been with you about him losing his mama. I think that has
That and then you mix in the Kardashian voodoo, like you know what I'm saying, like yeah, bro, like
yeah,
that's crazy, bro. Wow.
it is. Yeah, it is insane. But yeah, something happened to him, so I'm worried more for his like mental health. It seems like something is wrong.
Yeah, you
but it's
should
not like-
be
I
when
could see
he put out a
somebody doing
song
that
like
for-
that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I could see somebody doing that for clout, but I'm like, Kanye don't need clout. You know what I mean? Like, you don't
Right.
need to do these things. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're not some young 20-year-old doofus either. You know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah.
Right.
So,
That's crazy, bro.
it is crazy. Wow. It is crazy. All right, Johnny, let's get into your movie review, and then we'll do our top 5 worst TV moms.
All right, real quick movie review on Thunderbolts from Marvel. Finally, a good Marvel movie. It's been a minute. The latest Captain America: Brave New World was This one was actually really good. The story was good. The performances was really good. A lot of fun. A lot of people, oh, Marvel's back. I'm not ready to say Marvel's back because they had a lot of shitty stuff come out for the last couple years. But Thunderbolts was actually a lot of fun. And there's a nice, make sure if you go watch Thunderbolts, stay there for all the credits because there are 2 post-credit scenes. You're going to want to watch both of them. Yeah. Especially the second one is a really good, post-credit scene that actually leads to something that's coming up. But no, it was a lot of fun. Florence Pugh is quickly climbing up my list of favorite actresses to watch. But she was good. It was a lot of fun. The jokes were good, but it wasn't too much where it got stupid. And it was a really good story. Again, a lot of stuff with, just to be, I put it out there as far as like, mental problems and stuff like that, because the character of Sentry has like 2 different personalities or whatever. Like the void where he's turning the people into shadows and stuff like that is like a bad entity that he's got in him, but he has like mental stuff like that. So they kind of like, it's something about that too. So if you're having some kind of shit going on or whatever, like this is a good movie to kind of help motivate you and let you know things can be all right or whatever. So it had a deeper meaning to it as well. So it was really good, man. I really enjoyed it. So I'll give it 4 out of 5. It was a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to the Fantastic Four is coming out in a couple months and stuff like that. So finally Marvel put out a really good one. So definitely check out. If you're a Marvel fan, you can give this one a shot. I know Marvel fans have been disappointed a lot lately, so they haven't been watching it.
To me, they haven't. I haven't watched a Marvel movie, I don't think, since the last like Avengers.
Since Endgame.
Yeah, maybe I watched the last Spider-Man. I think I watched that.
Yeah. But since those Spider-Man, a couple of Spider-Man were good. The Multiverse of Madness, which was the second Doctor Strange movie, was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? But all those Disney shows, there were a couple of Disney shows that were pretty good. The rest of them were total freaking crap.
The market. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunately what happened. There was a new president of Disney. The new president of Disney right around COVID or whatever. There was a new president of Disney, and he didn't care about quality. He just wanted quantity. So he told them to just throw out as much shit as possible, and that's why like you said, it oversaturated it. It wasn't good. Now they've gone back to just we're going quality over quantity. We're going to make sure we only do a couple a year. So you know what I'm saying? Hopefully this was a good start with this Thunderbolts, because at first it was like, why the fuck you make it Thunderbolt? Like, who cares about, you know what I'm saying? Like a bunch of B-lister, you know what I'm saying, characters from other movies. But nah, man, it was actually very well written. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot, man. Like I actually I'm probably gonna go see it again.
Nice. I did watch the last Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
That was bro. That was really good.
That was after Endgame, right?
Yes. That was one of their only good hits after Endgame was Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and that again was James Gunn finishing off his trilogy there. That was well done too.
Yeah. So let's get into our top 5 of the week, and it is we've hinted at Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, but just in case you're like, you know what, I don't really like my mom, we decided to remind you that there's always worse moms out there, and you know, everybody always loves the good TV mom, but we forget all about the bad TV moms, the worst TV moms. Johnny, we'll start with you. Who is your top 5 worst TV mom?
All right, now I'm putting her on this as at number 5, and this is like the first couple are gonna be like the PG rated, you know what I'm saying, TV mom. So I'm going with Dr. Beverly Hofstadter from Big Bang Theory. She plays Leonard Hofstadter's mom. He's the one that's with Penny, if you're not a Big Bang Theory fan, but she's a psychologist, and she is forever shitting on her son. She actually wrote a book called Needy Baby, Greedy Baby, where it's just constantly talking shit about his whole upbringing and him as a toddler and all this stuff, and she's constantly diminishing him or whatever. And if he does do something good, she's just a cold-hearted mom. She doesn't have that motherly like bone in her to like show any compassion or anything like that. So she's a fun character too as well. So if any Big Bang Theory fans out there, I got Dr. Beverly Hofstadter at my number 5. And again, that's not like horrible mom. That's a bad mom. Yeah. But there's gonna be some. There's the list gets worse.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna flip my 4 and 5 here. I got Brianna Barksdale from The Wire. And if you remember, her son wanted out the game. In fact, he was willing to snitch on his uncle's business, and she went to prison and was like, "Don't you dare snitch out your uncle. We handle business. You know, we're family." She put in the drug business over her own son's health. You know what I mean? And commitment to the drug game. So Brianna Barksdale is my number 5.
Yeah, I see. I didn't watch The Wire, so I had to go off.
Never watched The Wire?
Nah, I never watched The Wire.
Bro,
I never watched Sopranos. I know I need to check that out too. I didn't watch Sons of Anarchy because I know that's probably a popular one on people's top 5 worst moms list. But I gotta say,
I'm telling you, watch The Wire. You will love The Wire. It's a little slow, but it's a slow burn. But man, it is so good.
Okay, all right, I'll definitely put it on there. I got one that's a little similar. This is an HBO one here, but I'm going with her name was the character's name was Nancy Botwin. It was from the show Weeds.
Yeah, that's on Showtime. Showtime.
Yes, on Showtime. Mary Louise Parker. She started by dealing drugs to maintain her kids or whatever, and then she wound up neglecting her family, marrying into the cartel. The show itself was phenomenal. But yeah, she was like again, she started selling weed to like help support her family, and then it just completely went left, and she wasn't even worried about her damn kids toward the end of that show. So I got Nancy Botwin of Weeds as my number 4 worst TV moms.
Yeah, and she lied to her kids all the time.
Yes, all the time, bro.
The youngest one didn't even he thought he was Jewish. Turns out he's the son of a Mexican cartel. Yeah.
Even in jail, she was doing some bad shit, bro.
So my number 3 or my number 4 is the Skylar from Breaking Bad. I don't really know if she's just not very supportive, and I don't feel like she cared about her husband or her son. And obviously, she had that kind of affair with the worker at her job. But there was a time I was like, I hate this woman. Like, so,
I'm right there with you, bro.
Yeah.
I don't have her on my list because my wife talked me out of it.
Oh,
But I hated her as a character, bro.
I did too.
You know what I'm saying? But she was like, well, she wasn't really a bad mom, though. She loved her son. Yeah, she did love her son, but she was a bitch. She wasn't a supportive woman. You know what I'm saying? Like she was just a bad person. So I was like, all right. So I took her off the list. But
if you want to make the case she really wasn't a bad mom, I'm probably okay with that.
Right.
But she's just a horrible person.
Yes, she was a horrible person.
You were a bad mom in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was close enough. Like I said, she almost made my list for that, bro.
Okay. Who's your number 3?
All right, so my number 3, and this was a comedy show, but I'm going with Lucille Bluth from Arrested Development. I don't know if you ever saw that show. But she was the mom of the family, and oh my God, did she not give 2 shits about her kids, bro? Like she literally put them against each other in certain situations. She was extremely manipulative, but she was funny as hell. If you like comedy shows that are extremely well written, Arrested Development is something you want to check out. And she was just rotten to the core, bro. Like, she would have sold out her kids for her own benefit with the quickness, bro.
Yeah.
Like she would have had no problem doing that, bro. So yeah, she's my number 3. Lucille Bluth.
Yeah, my number 3 is Livia Soprano, the mother of Tony Soprano. I mean, she was narcissistic. She put a hit out on her own son. She wanted her own son to be murdered because she put her in a nursing home. And obviously, Tony had to go to therapy for his mom issues and just a lot of different shit because she was batshit crazy and hateful and hated a lot of stuff. So Livia Soprano is my number 3.
Yeah, see that's another one that I was late on the boat and I didn't get to watch The Sopranos. That was during my 20 plus years of driving an 18-wheeler most of the time. So I didn't get to watch a lot of TV. So I missed out on The Wire and The Sopranos. But one HBO show that I definitely watched, and she's my number 2. And this was another one that wifey was kind of putting up a fight because she was like, well, she loved her kid. Yeah, but she was a disgusting, horrible fucking person. And I'm talking about none other than Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
Lena Headey played it perfectly, and she actually did love her kids, even though all 3 of her kids were from an ancestral relationship with her freaking brother. You know what I'm saying? But she did love her kids, but she did such horrible things that wound up coming back to impact her kids. You know what I'm saying? And it's if you're mad about spoilers now on Game of Thrones, that's your own damn issue. But all 3 of her kids wind up getting killed because of shit that she did. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, they wind up getting killed because of it. So yeah, and besides the fact that she's just a horrible human being. So yeah, Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones is my number 2 worst TV mom ever.
Yeah, my number 2 worst TV mom is Monica Gallagher from Shameless. She's a drug addict, and she's obviously married to Frank Gallagher. And then skips town, leaves her 6 kids with Frank Gallagher, and her daughter Fiona's supposed to raise them. And then when she dies, and she leaves her kids in trouble because she ripped off her ex-boyfriend and gave her kids meth, a bunch of meth to sell or to have. So Monica Gallagher is my number 2 worst TV mom.
See, that's another one that I haven't seen that I really want to watch. I've heard so much good stuff about Shameless. And I forget the dude's name.
Kind of drags on, but the first few seasons are really good.
Yeah, but the main dude, like, he's a really good actor.
Frank Gallagher, William H. Macy.
William H. Macy, yes. I'm a big fan of his. I love him. He's a great actor. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna want to check that one out. My number one. This show probably didn't get watched by a lot of people, but it should have been watched by a lot of people. But my number one worst TV mom ever is none other than Norma Bates from Bates Motel.
Yeah,
that was a phenomenally written show. I love Vera Farmiga. She is a beautiful woman. She's a phenomenal actress. But the relationship she had with Norman Bates, which clearly turned him into Psycho from the movie Psycho and the Stephen King book or whatever. But the weirdness of their relationship and stuff like that, the over possessiveness, and it was just creepy feeling or whatever. And you know what I'm saying? She killed motherfuckers when she had to kill somebody. She was quick to kill somebody or whatever. But yes, my worst TV mom of all time is Norma Bates, the mother of Psycho, from Bates Motel.
Yeah. My number one, you kind of said it off the top, was going to be on this list, and that's Gemma Teller from Sons of Anarchy. So, you know, her son Jax, he's trying to leave the biker gang. She guilt trips him into it, then tries to get Jax to kill his the president, which is her husband / his stepdad. And then also there's possibly that she had Jack's dad killed, then had Jack's, his wife killed, and the mother, her 2 grandkids killed. So she was,
God.
Yeah. So she was manipulative.
Damn, Peggy.
Yeah.
Like she almost made my list just for fun. I almost put Peggy Bundy on my list at number 5 because she didn't cook and clean and she didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? But damn,
she didn't really care about her kids.
She was horrible.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So and then she blamed on other things. When she killed her, trying to get like which ended up like a whole another there's the ones that killed her. And then they've turned to find out, we all know it was her the whole time. But, a lot of people died because of Gemma Teller.
Okay.
Yeah. And really kind of Jack kind of died because of everything. So, and she's just kind of a bitch in the whole so,
that's actually another show that's on my list that I've heard great things from a lot of people. So it's gonna be interesting to see her in that type of a role.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
As opposed to everything else I've seen her in. So yeah, man, that was interesting there, man. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, I almost had Skylar on my list, bro, because she like irritated me, bro. Like I literally like every scene that she was on camera, like I hated, like I couldn't wait.
We're in camp. Walter White's a good dad. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
yeah, we're all Walter White fans, so that we might be a little biased. We might be a little biased, but nah, that was fun, man. That was a good one.
So definitely, those are the worst TV moms out there. Johnny, you got anything else before we get up out of here?
Nah, I am good. Thanks to Sam for having me on the show last night. That was a lot of fun. Definitely needed this show this morning, so had a lot of fun here today with you. Of course, looking forward to next week. I'm going to try really hard to make the LTS show on Monday night. Mondays are hard with work. I have no idea what time I'm going to get done on Monday, so that's what's been messing me up, but I'm going to try harder to try to get up on there. And then be on the lookout for the Dolphin Chronicles return on Kendall Sports when we get a little closer to the NFL season. But, nah, it was fun, man. Looking forward to next week.
Yeah, it'll be. We'll be back this time next week, 8 o'clock Central, 8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Eastern. It's been another great episode of the Bodkins Show. Make sure you check us out. Shout out to all the moms again. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. So, other than that, be a friend, tell a friend, like, subscribe, share. It's been a fun one. We'll be back next week with whatever happens throughout the rest of the week. It may be the best week of your life. So, y'all be blessed. Have a good one, folks.
Peace.
Thanks so much for joining us, and until next time, let's talk sport, friends. Thanks for watching.